A lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippecanoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig up a great deal for you.
High passion rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, the fine print's out of the way. It's time to roll with the show. We're back. We're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And some of us are definitely a little cooler than others. But hey, at least I'm not under 18 to 24 inches of snow. I see somebody had said something about they were, the Weather Channel missed it by a mile in there, but just hearing about that much is enough for me to stay out of it. Either way, I see Travis is in, Bill, Tim, Shannon, Lauren, Barb, Chuck, Dennis, Greg, A lot of them dropping in. Good to see, definitely. Welcome aboard, everyone. Links in the chat and the description. Our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, A.I.P, TheRingFinders, Extreme Scoops, DETECTEES.com. Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang doing a great job with that. Nokta Makro website, Midi Horde commercial, Legend launch video. There's also the links for Ohio Metal Detecting, Crazy Spider Adventures, Metal Detecting NYC, Detected Outdoors, and All Metal Militia, all on YouTube, All Metal Militia on Facebook, Detect America on Facebook, where you can catch Frank, Steve, and Ronnie, 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday nights. I believe, actually, tomorrow night they've got KG on with them. And Shelly and Dawn on Thursday nights over there at 8 p.m. Eastern as well. Other than that, also notable links in the chat and description. Don't forget the link for Florida Hunt 8 Facebook group if you're interested in that. Although they have been taking on a number of members this week, the way it sounds. So, let's get right down into it and get Greg in here too. How is it going, Greg?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, definitely a pleasure. I mean, we've covered kind of recaps of the Florida hunts in past years and things of that nature, so it's nice to actually get to hear about it from the man himself this time around.
Yeah, and before it all takes place, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. The recaps are nice, but this way people get a chance to hear what they can expect, what they can be looking forward to, especially if they're attending. And I know there's already been a number of people that are looking forward to the updates and everything, because you've got some information to share with us tonight. But before we get into that, I'm kind of curious to know, I don't think I've heard on any of the shows, unless I missed it, just exactly what got you into doing the Florida hunts.
No, okay. Well, it's before you had Facebook and before you had MySpace and all that. All you had were the forums, or magazines. So it was we used to go through TreasureNet, and there was a guy named Bobby that started they would do a hunt in the Panhandle of Florida once a year, and then they would do one out in, I'm not sure exactly, it might have been Missouri. There was a wagon trail called the Chisholm Trail. They had property out there, and each year they would go back and forth. And about 2009, maybe, I think, maybe was it 2009 or 2008? I went to my first Florida hunt. Or it wasn't called Florida Hunt. It was just the Florida Gathering or the TreasureNet Hunt. Mm. And I kind of coined the Florida Hunt phrase after I started kind of doing my own too. Bobby would do one, and then the next year I came up after having gone to one of his. I started one. And we called it, I'm not even sure, it was never really a Florida Hunt 1, or I don't know. We're going back. I know there was Florida Hunt 3. We started coining numbers to them, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but it just kind of rolled from there, and then we would alternate. He did Florida Hunt 1, and then he did 1 and 2, and then I did 3, and after that I did 4, and then he did 5, and then I did 6, 7, 8. He's been tied up with health issues and other things, so I just took over.
Kind of took it by the reins and ran with it.
Yeah, and they've gotten bigger every year. They used to be, Florida Hunt 3, I think we had 25 people at a campground.
Wow.
And in the Swanee River area of Florida, and I always picked somewhere that was kind of had some historical value. They've always been, a natural hunt, with Florida Hunt 8, Mark Hoover, Alaska Hunt 22. The Florida Hunt 8 is the first Florida hunt that will be seeded. And the reason we did that, was just because we've been to the same location 3 years. And that's another thing I never really did, was never repeated myself in a location. But for the cause that we're doing it for, And then every year it was like, oh, hey, I can get another 200 acres. Hey, I can get another 300 or 400 acres, and we would make it bigger. And the property would get bigger. And I was like, well, we've got to one-up ourselves this year because this, and we were talking about this yesterday, Dan and I. This will be the last hunt on this particular property, at least for a while anyway. Unless something gets unearthed, like maybe some wood will be found or something, and we'll have to dig deeper. But we were looking at going out of state with some things for Camp Freedom. But being that was, going to be the last hunt, I really pushed for wanting the guests that I've wanted for a long time. KG and Ringy have been big supporters of my event. Going back to Florida Hunt 4, I think they even sent me something. Somebody had got them to send me some of the autographed cards and some DVDs, and then Florida Hunt, Florida Hunt 6, they sent something. Florida Hunt 7, they were here, and then Florida Hunt 8, and then but yeah, it's kind of funny how the Florida hunts have taken off each year, and every year they get bigger, and of course now next year we're gonna have to try. Dan and I are looking at trying to maybe find some more land somewhere else in Florida that we can do it on behalf of Soldier Freedom Outdoors. But yeah, it's gonna be a sad time, kind of sort of knowing that this will be the last time there, because everybody has grown to love the property out there. But we're not going to continue. We're going to continue making making events for Soldier Freedom Outdoors as long as they're around. So, but we'll just be in different locations. That's all.
Right. So even though you may be changing the location, the cause will still be the same.
Yep. Yeah. When the South Carolina, North Carolina area, we're looking at like anywhere from 200 to 500 acres.
Wow.
for an event. So that's going into next year. We're looking at something like that. We were talking about that a little bit in between being cold on the 4-wheeler. It was kind of cold when we were riding around out there. There's no windshield. So
right. Makes it a little tough sometimes.
Degrees, yeah, it's a little bit.
Definitely. Well, do you happen to know? I mean, God, I can't even remember now. I want to say, wasn't it something like $20,000+ raised last year for Camp Freedom?
It was when we were at the event and they came back out. It was that wasn't. I don't even think that included the money from the food. Right. To be honest with you, that was just from all the raffles and the entry fees. It was almost 20,000, and then I got them another. I work part-time at Home Depot, and there's a prize a gift matching program that we do, and you're allowed to match one time a year, every fiscal year. That's why I do it. Keep my events the same time, so that when the event's over, I'm past my 365-day mark for the giveaway for the matching grant, and I can get up to $3,000. They'll match me for a nonprofit up to $3,000. So we donate well over $3,000, obviously, but so that brought it up close to $23,000. And on top of that, there might have been more added in for from the food and such.
Right.
And we've got some top notch some giveaways that are top notch this year. So. Another great run by a lot of my great supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's going to be a number of raffles going on as well. Very cool. Especially for the cause that it's going for, obviously.
Yeah.
It's great to see how people really kind of pitch in for things like that. And I know that there were a phenomenal amount of giveaways and raffles and support last year. Yeah. And that's what we've seen in the years leading up to this is the event has grown and become bigger and more popular, and word has spread even more and more every year. So it's great to see.
Yeah. And it does, and I do take a month or two off before we start working on the next one. That's for the wife's orders. I got to take a break. But we're always looking for that. That property. When people, that's how it all started for Camp Freedom. Was he came into Home Depot, and I was making some paint for him, and he said, "Oh, he had a farm." And, me, I was like, well, this is North Florida. There's a lot of old farms. And I was like, hey, how old's the farm? And then I asked him where. And I said, well, I started doing my research. And once he told me it was for the veterans, I was like, hey, maybe we can make you some money. You're a nonprofit, right? And then we started talking from there. The rest is history, really,
So it sounds like you two have formed quite the good relationship over the past few years.
We've grown to be like family,
Absolutely, and like I said, you can't beat the cause at all.
Yeah.
Nope. Every now and then you even see some nice finds come up, but I know a number of us were trying to stress the point last year of it's not necessarily about the finds or what you can get. You can't lose focus of the cause.
Yep.
And it seems
a lot
like
of people,
it worked out well.
Yeah, and and there's people that come just for the camaraderie and for the meeting of the people. You've got Frank and Steve drive down from. They've come down the last 3 times, I believe. Yeah, the last 2, and then this will be their 3rd time, and of course, Steve always makes jokes about having to drive down with Frank, but I look forward more to their live streams than I do the hunt sometimes. It's like the build up to the event. When the event's over, it's almost somebody, Celeste, I believe, said it best. She's like, I wanted to come, but be here, but I don't, because then it's over.
Right, yeah, because I know once it starts, it's going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of hate to see it go. They're all out having fun with everybody and enjoying the camaraderie and all of that goes along with it.
Yeah, and not only as everybody. I mean, there's a lot of. I'll tell you, this year there's a lot of new faces coming from. A lot more of the Detect America folks are coming. There's several Florida-based detecting clubs that have had quite the influx of people inquiring. That didn't come last year, because last year there was a lot of people that had the COVID scare, and
right.
The one thing is, this year has changed a little bit, is as far as the donations that I've received from, say, some of the larger companies have kind of they're not as big as they were last year, but I do have some other ones that are bringing more stuff with them when they come. So, but I expected, obviously, because a lot more events happen this year. I'm not the only baby, and I'm not the only fish in the pond like last year, where companies, so, but a lot of companies are still stepping up. We've had a few changes that are coming up, and as questions arise, I'll answer those as they come in through the chat or whatever, if you have a question or something. But I don't want to throw everything at you at once.
Well, nothing wrong with that, though.
I can. You're sitting here drinking Black Rifle coffee, so you can kind of ramble.
Right. Well, I know Frank sure likes that stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully, I should hear back from them soon. I had written them, and then you get the automated email. Oh, we'll get back to you soon. And then they wrote me again, and then I wrote back, and then I waited a few months, because I started reaching out to my donors, my vendors, 6 to 9. Literally it was like a couple of months after Florida Hunt, 7 was done.
Oh, you've got to.
They're like, oh, reach back to us, closer to the event, and I did that and got the automated message, and I wrote, and then they were like, well, you have to fill out the form again. It's not automatic, and I was like, well, no, I'm just wondering if you were gonna donate again this year. And so then I did the form, and then I waited a couple more months, and I wrote again, automated message. you know, I don't want to say automated. I mean, it's like like one of those emails.
Right, like a form letter reply.
Yeah. So then finally I got a letter. Oh, we apologize. This event's now, you're top of the list priority. Blah 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 blah. So hopefully, I should hear something out. And that was the end of last week. So being a weekend, I'll reach out to them in the middle of the next week. And I see Mark at same. Yeah, Mark Hoover is asking. Yeah, all the manufacturers are the same this year, Mark. As far as I know, the only deletion that we have this year, it's not necessarily a manufacturer, but on the dealer aspect of it, Calico will not have a setup this year. So yeah, they're kind of, yeah. I finally got to hear back from Mark from Calico, and they've they're down a few people, and they really weren't sure if if the Tennessee crew was going to come down this year. So because I'm in the process right now of setting up the map of how we're going to do the layout for vendors, etc.
Right.
So when I asked, and then it kind of was a little hesitant, and then I don't think we're going to set up, but he's like, but I'm going to go up. I'll be up there, but I don't think he's not going to be. I don't think in the same aspect. If he even comes, I'm not sure, because it seems like they're really busy.
Now, when you've done these events there at Camp Freedom, do you happen to know by chance how far has your furthest attendee came from?
Well, if, in the United States, we've had them as far as Oregon, I believe. We've had Barack from Turkey. He's our farthest by far. He came from Nokta Makro. He came and I believe he's coming again this year. I was talking with him on Thursday or Friday on Facebook. In between our choppy internet connection, that was fun.
Right.
But he's supposed to drop me an email, let me know what they're sending. But yeah, they're by far the farthest away. I know I've got somebody wanting to come from Maine, possibly. Gypsy Jules, co-host for their show. Amanda might come, but it's probably like 75%. The Gypsy's trying to talk her into coming down. And I thought there was somebody from California that was talking a while back. But pretty much we may have somebody from almost every state. Last year I think we had 33 states.
Nice.
But I think this year we're gonna that was from that Mark Hoover. Yeah, that was James Opfar he came from Washington State.
Oh.
So depending on where in California we measure, get out the measuring tape,
Right. And I know for a number of people, especially sprinkled from, say, the Northeast to the Midwest, it's a reprieve for them. Being that time of the year, it's a great excuse to get out of the snow and get down into some better weather for them.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it's been the last 2 years. We started the Florida hunt out in about 35 degrees, 36 degrees. We had Friday night. We had little at both places. We kind of had the one place we did for Florida Hunt 6, which is the same meet and greet location as of right now. I have to meet with them tomorrow to double check because of they're the kind of business that might not want a large, even though it's 90% outdoors. They have actually 95% of their business is outdoors. They have 5%. They have like 2 tables inside. So I don't see a problem, but I'm going to meet with them tomorrow before I go to work tomorrow night. But they have like those little gas operated heaters. The little they're like 8 feet tall and they blow heat. And they had a couple little bonfires that had 20 people around each of them.
Everybody's huddling around.
Yeah, and then by 12 o'clock noon, people were peeling off sweatshirts and hats, and then it was like 75 degrees, I think, in Florida on 7 by the afternoon.
Right, once the sun comes out, things warm up quick. I know there were a few people last year sporting sunburns after the event.
Yeah. Don't let the cool wind and not 90 degrees. Don't let that. The Florida sun will get you.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. John White, I think, was one of them where he was going back to snow and ice in Iowa, but he's got this bright red sunburn. And it's like, man, you just stick out like a sore thumb now.
Yep.
And I see Scott Bird in the chat saying he's probably the closest to the event, only 5 or 10 minutes away.
Yeah, he's right up the road.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
And it is good to see Mark in. Obviously, Mark is Adventures in History and one of the sponsors for Florida Hunt 8 again this year. And for those listening, they may want to keep listening. There may be a little surprise towards the end of the show. But I know you've got a lot of updates on the vendors and the map information and things like that. So I'm just going to let you kind of roll along with it for a while.
All right. Well, like I said earlier, the only real change, like as far as who's attending, Garrett's coming. Russ from First Texas is coming. He's got 3. I'm waiting. I'm going to be getting a notification from him hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday, and we're going to be posting up on the page on 3 of their influencers that are coming down. Nice. I know there was we know there was an announcement made, and Audra is now an influencer for First Texas for Technetics, so she'll be representing them down here at Florida Hunt 8. But the other 2, I've got to get their names. I don't want to say the wrong name or mess up something, so. And then we'll put a little post up about them. They'll be there to help Russ and to represent their company. That's a change on their part over versus last year. Obviously, we've got KG and Ringy and Gypsy for Garrett. And, KG and Ringy have been, phenomenal, supporters. They bring in a lot of folks, and it showed last year once we announced they were coming, the spike that we got. Of course, then Mind Lab, I was on this. I was chewing on this bit for 5 months. I was like after it. Gary and I would write, Gary, have you heard anything? No, I hadn't heard anything. I'm not going to try to do my best, Gary Drayton voice, so I'll probably mess that up too. But and then finally, Deb and I were talking, and then they've had some changes within Mind Lab too, kind of sort of who does what. And she's like, oh yeah, she confirmed it with me, and then we were on the page like shortly after that, and Gary put up the cool little flyer. It was funny. He put the flyer together, and it was like, okay, yeah, we've got KG and Ringy on there, and then we had Gary Drayton History, channel, and then I wrote Gypsy about something. I was like, I saw that she had written to somebody on another page somewhere about, it looks like I'm going to Florida Hunt 8. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I went, hey, I got left out this loop. I said, am I not supposed to know about this?
Right. Somebody forgot to include me.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. And then 10 minutes later, Gary Penter was like, there's going to be a change. Gypsy's now going to be added. And I was like, maybe somebody made a call or something like, hey, nobody told Greg. Or I had asked her throughout the year, I said, hey, you coming? And she's like, well, I want to. She hadn't heard anything. And, obviously she had those different things, those shows that she was doing, she's under contract for. So it was kind of, you had to wait to hear back. So I was excited. And I was like, man, we've got a killer lineup this year. And then, the numbers have grown. A lot of Gypsy's followers have signed up. I was on her show on Monday. This past Monday, and a lot of people were asking out there, and we had some folks joining. We still got, again, I'll put this out there. If you try to join the page, make sure to fill out that whether you've been. There's 2 questions: have you been to a Florida Hunt, and do you plan on attending? I won't deny you if you don't plan on attending, because I know, especially if we have mutual friends, and you want to see, some people are joining just to see what the event is going to be like, and. There's only a few people, and I've had a few people said that they weren't coming or whatever, but the majority of the people that are signing up all are going or are planning to. They want to look at travel arrangements and stuff, but we just hit over 500 people today too.
Wow. So, yeah. Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah. So, and like I was talking to Dan yesterday when we were 400 something, I said, and like last year we had over 6 on the page. but about 320 or 330 showed up. But we did have a lot towards the end, like the last month. I probably had 50, 60 people cancel because of COVID.
It is kind of a scary thing for some people yet.
Well, and I had asked people. I said, listen, if I see Shelly's popping in here. She's a phenomenal. They've been phenomenal helping as well. Shout out the Hunter. I know she's been having some problems. Poor lady with her. We're trying to do a digital format for the have a waiver so that they sign it and then send it back to her, so we don't have to have a bunch of papers for the people that are already attending. This way, everything's done for them. But
we've got a guy on here that I'm pretty sure wants to chat at you a bit. We've got Chuck on with us.
Oh, my buddy Chuck.
What's up, Greg? What's up, Josh?
What's up, my brother?
Oh,
how goes it?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be busy. But I wanted to, Shelly's on there. I got her form last week. It didn't work. I got it again. It didn't work, but I got it again today. And yes, the waiver is signed and sent back in. It's working, Shelly.
I'll have to go look at my email.
Yep. It worked real slick. No problem. So that's cool. That's a good way to do it, Greg. That worked out well. What she's got set up.
Yeah, because last year, thank God for her and Dawn kind of helped my wife and I out because the meet and greet got to the point where the line was out the building, and then you got a waiver, then you're collecting money, and then
it actually came late because we knew it'd be that way.
Yeah. So this hopefully will make things easier, at least on that aspect of it. And you get a digital map, or a copy of the map they can print out, so I don't have to print out 300 maps and have a separate box full of maps.
Right.
We will have some hard copy maps there, I'm sure, but not as many as we did last year.
So I'm planning I'll be there at least a day, maybe 2 days early. So if you need some help running, holler.
Yeah, I actually took the whole week off from the part-time job. So afternoon, as soon as the kids get out of here, I'll head up there for an hour or two each night. And I was up there yesterday, so it's that new area to get to. It's not that bad, but obviously it's a lot of hedgerows. I call them hedgerows, like rows of trees. When you get down through the two sections, and then, I'll go back to the vendor section, but I'll let you talk to Chuck for a minute, and then I'll go back to the vendors, update the vendors, and then we'll talk about what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, and I see some people saying, I'm going to wear shorts. Well, you will later. In the morning, if you're wearing shorts, you're going to be standing over by one of those burners.
Right, packed for cool weather too.
In the mornings, and but everybody was having a great time. Coffee was brewing. Michael was going out doling out sausage bread, and then I was handing out some sausage and that kind of stuff. And other people were just having a great time. And the lunch that they have, the barbecue on Saturday, is phenomenal. And good food.
Yeah,
and everything's pretty well organized, and it sounds like you're fine-tuning it to the size of the event a little better.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be maybe more than last year. Am I correct on that?
What do you mean, people-wise? I believe so, yes. I mean, I want to say we have well over 200 new people signed up that a lot of them that are all say they're attending, so... And a lot of them are from
you'll have the DA boys there and me set up along the vendor
Shelly and Dawn.
And you'll have Mine Lab and Fisher and Nokta Makro, I believe, too, right?
Yep. That was my next thing I was going to touch on. Yep, and Barack's coming over from Turkey again.
Is Butch Holcomb coming this year?
I believe so. Yep, I'm going to set. Because I know he wrote to me the other day. I had one of those brain fart moments. I started to say something and something popped up on the screen and I lost my train of thought.
I'll wait till the day of the event. It'll just be one big cloud.
Yeah, and oh gosh, Yeah, he's going to be. Butch is going to be there. I believe Anita's coming with him this year.
Good.
So yeah, and we've got a few. Yeah, we've got a couple. I know I was trying to have it's Hill Valhalla Project. It's a veteran-owned company out of St. Augustine. They do shirts, or they sell shirts and other items, wristbands and stuff to raise money, and then they sell. And then they give families of now they're doing first responders, law enforcement, firefighters. When they die in the line of duty, or like a lot of the World War II veterans that die, or as they they make plaques for the surviving family members and stuff, and they hand deliver each one.
Oh, very cool.
But so that went from the guy doing it in his garage when he got out of the Marine Corps to now they've got a warehouse in St. Augustine. They're originally from Middleburg, Florida, which is right by there, in the same, almost general area. But they were going to come, but they just now started a donations department. They're actually going to give me some gift cards, I believe. I'm not sure how much, if it'll be one or two, or if it'll be more than that. But I thank them, because the one girl, I've been talking with her for about 4 months back and forth, because she's been trying to get them out there, but now they're down half staff because of COVID. So,
oh man,
yeah. So that kind of, even if they were ready, yeah. And Black Rifle Coffee, I know if you heard earlier in the thing there, Chuck, in the podcast. Hopefully, I should hear from them at the beginning of the week. They've moved me up the notch, because the lady I kind of got put on the back burner and they forgot about me. So I should hear something soon.
Good.
Then there's a guy.
We're going to have some raffles there that'll go to the guys, to the organization, and instead of detector this year, it's going to be gold nuggets. And then I know there's going to be a gold coin raffled off by Mr. Ron DeGhetto. Yeah. And Michael Boyles is going to need a tub. He wants to teach some panning and talk about gold, because, people in Florida go, gold? Well, you're only a 5-hour drive from Goldfields. So Michael likes to go up and do that. So we're setting up at my booth with that. And I'll be raffling gold pans off. And one of those gold pans is going to have a 1/4-ounce nugget in it.
Nice.
Very, very good, very good.
So, and maybe some other stuff there too. So we're working on that. That's a little different. Everybody's got a detector down there. So we're doing some things different and some neat things. And I know Mr. Gary Penta's got that Jeep he's put together is phenomenal. Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of tickets on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was somebody who doesn't detect that wanted to come out and support the event. And I told her, I said, listen, you want to support the event, bring money and buy raffle tickets.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't detect,
help the guys. Help the site.
And I believe, unless things have changed, Gary still has some shirts and the pendants available on his website for purchase.
Yeah, he wrote me. Yeah, he's been chugging along. I can't thank Gary enough. Between the pendants and and the shirt is awesome. And
and those pendants are sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. You know what? I better hustle if I want one of those. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I got to hustle too. I keep on seeing the notifications. I'm sharing. I'm liking. I'm commenting. Then I go, oh yeah, but what about me? I forgot myself.
Oh, it's a great event, and we hope for great weather and a good time will be had by all. And where is the meet and greet this year?
Where we had it for Florida Hunt 6, which was the One Love Cafe. I believe.
I wasn't at 6.
I thought you were at 6. Well, that's fine. I'll make sure that the address is on the announcement. The tab, It's got the address. But if, I can just remind me, Chuck, and I can send you, because I think when you type in the
address, to everybody, and that'll be a good time. And
I've got to
see everybody, and it's a great event. It's for our veteran site down there, and the veterans. And if you find something, I'll guarantee you'll find something. You'll find shotgun shell holes everywhere.
Well, and the funny thing is, there were some old maps that were sent to me that I didn't really pay attention to, and somebody wrote, "Hey, did you get a chance to look at the maps I sent you?" They were newer maps, but they had, and the older map that was sent to me dates back to 1830,
cool.
and you can see the old farmhouse in the field, which is on the northern quadrant, and they were where the reals have been found. That one field.
We have all the vendors. Was that?
Yep.
Area?
We found on the same map, and I'm looking, I'm going, that looks like a train track line, right? But so then another guy and I were talking through Facebook. We were talking on the phone, but we were both. I sent him the map that I had, and I go, no. He goes, no, that's a wagon trail. We had found 4 wagon trails that all intersect.
Wow.
On that property, some of it going down through the new area, and some of it going,
those maps might be at a premium then, right?
Yep. And then the other maps that somebody sent me were newer maps, and I'm not sure where the information he got that was on them. I think he had another older map, but he had set up some grid lines, and he had where there was 4 or 5 structures, and some of them followed along those wagon trail lines. So people are doing their homework. So, people were saying, we didn't find nothing last year. Well, you can kind of blindly walk around. You might find something, but we always say it's about location, location, location.
Right.
You do your homework on a site. You do your homework on a site. Like that lake was on the 1830 map. Cool. And here's another side note. I didn't see anybody magnet fish that lake.
Ooh.
Now he's getting some wheels turning for people.
Out there going. I know there's a bunch of you from my area going this year. Dennis and Squatch and John and Frank, and I don't know who else is on there listening tonight. They're going down. Take your magnet.
Yep. And Dan, you can get to most of it you can't go into the water like way deep, but they've got a dock that was built that goes out about 100 feet or more, on the edge. Wow. And then I know Frank found that, I believe that, Federal Union or the Federal, the cuff button or whatever. And that was right out along the beach area. And this is the first year I've ever put anything in the ground. So unless and you could tell it had some age to it. So it had been in the ground for a bit. So,
cool.
And that was the first thing Dan and I were talking about. He goes, you know what? He goes, no one's magnet fished the lake. And I go, you know what? Oh. You're right, Dan. And, so I will be putting a little video together of the rides that we took and some of the photos. But going back to the vendors, like I said, I've already touched on Garrett, Mine Lab, Fisher, Nokta. We know that, and then of course Dwight will be out there representing Nokta. He's got all the stuff set up. Dwight from New Age Goonies, and then he's going to actually have a New Age Goonies stuff set up as well. He'll have some New Age Goonies swag and stuff. Shelly and Dawn are setting up from Can You Dig It? They're going to be the DA, and it's going to be quite the run of everybody having the tent set up. Now I am planning on setting it up a little different, only because the food area and everything is different. So those of you that have been to Florida Hunt 6 and 7 know we had the big tent for food next to the house for the vets, right?
Yeah.
Well, this year, where the field, which is directly behind where everybody was set up, that's going to be where the seated event's going to be. Mm-hmm. They're actually, after my event, they're actually building some kind of rodeo thing. You saw the fill dirt that was laid down. That'll actually help with some of the seated event. I can just kind of toss it in the dirt.
Right.
But they're gonna, after my event, it's gonna be a permanent structure there for barrel racing or something. So. When you come into Camp Freedom and you're driving down and you have the fence line along the right and that same field is on your right hand side, I'm following that fence line up, going back towards the road. They're going to have the food tent in there, as well as the band will be set up in there. We'll probably we may set the registration might be just outside that gate this way, because this way people be able to find us like they did last year.
So basically, the vendors, like I was next to DA last year, running.
Yep.
Over toward the slab, which I like the slab to park on.
Yep.
And then there was a little break with your outhouses over there.
Yep.
And then you had Gary alongside Gary Penta and Mark was hanging there.
Yeah, I know Mark and Gary are going to have their own tables this year as well. So, but the run will be pretty much the same. But Russ is going to be the end piece. We're not going to go up and around the corner like we did last time. So, because Calico's not coming. I don't know if you heard that part. They're not setting up.
I heard that part of it. Yeah. They had a trailer. They took quite a bit of room up there, and they had a nice setup.
Yep. So we'll probably have, or I may have my lab just across from Russ. I'm going to be doing a kind of. I was out there yesterday, kind of measuring and looking at stuff after I took the ride. I had to thaw out. But we're going to also use the other side of the road, like where we had Butch, because before it was just Butch and one other person over there. We've got quite a bit of space over there.
Off the food.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, wasn't Butch right there where the food tent was?
Yeah, right next to the barn. Yeah, so we're going to probably put several, 4 or 5 things over there as well. I know Butch is going to be over there. There was somebody else that wanted to be there. I've got my list.
Okay.
But this way, everybody will be across from each other. It'll be kind of like, you're shopping the open market. There's vendors on both sides of you. Tarsachi, I didn't hear from him this year. I know somebody said that he thought about coming, but he didn't ever get in touch with me, so I don't think they were coming from California. Matter of fact, they came from California, so they might have been the farthest person last year. But this way, we're all, just over this way, we have a little bit more parking as well, because that was about 50 feet of parking that we lost with all that set up around the corner there.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that everybody, has enough room to spread out. So we'll play it by ear. I mean, we've got some smaller vendors. Like I said, Silva Hollow Project's not coming this year. They were going to, but they're going to send e-gift cards. We do have, I can't think of his name. His name is Ben. And we also, we've got Candy Beach Treasures coming. So they only want like a lot of these smaller vendors only want, like a 10-foot space. So that's not too bad. So, a little pop-up, but I'm making sure all the vendors.
Doubling that.
Yeah.
I got pop-ups this year.
Yeah. So, all my vendors and you guys are mostly getting on like 20-foot spots or 25, depending.
That works. 25 works.
Yeah. And, so within the next week, I should have everything, and I might post up or send out to you guys, kind of what my ideas of, hey, this is what it looks like. Is this good for you? And then if we have to change anything, we change anything, and then move forward. But yeah, the food venue changing now. Supposedly, the people that have been doing a lot of his other food venues at the catering company. It's going to be the same kind of food, but it's not going to just be just a volunteer cooking chicken. They're going to actually have people there. I'm assuming you get in line. You get your ticket, you get your food, and you walk through the line there, and they've got the people that give you the stuff. And I think it's gonna be 2 tents now. You'll have like the main tent, and I think there's a separate tent that adds to it, and they have all the food. Cooking is all done right there. So that's kind of cool. I really enjoyed their food when I went to their appreciation dinner, but it's going to be chicken and pork. I believe he said like last year. There might be a couple things added on, but obviously with chicken and pork prices going up, it may go up $1 or $2 more. But for $10, the plate that I had, you can't get food that size for $10. But
yeah.
So I'll be he should know more about that. Should know more about that Monday or Tuesday. He's got to touch base with them, and then I've got to give him like a head count like 2 weeks out to know, so they know how much chicken and pork to buy. So hopefully, in 3 weeks.
Some questions that have popped up. Barb wanted tent space, but she wants to take some of mine. If I'm putting up 2, Barb, you can be in with us.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'll give her a stool and a corner of a bench. And then, let's see. Oh, I missed packed. Shelley says she's ready to go. Well, anyway.
Yeah, she's been counting the hours. I think she's sitting there looking at the clock ticking.
I think she is.
They want to head south. Yeah. I know, and let's see. I'm trying to not look at the chat, but in the same token, I'm trying to look at it too. But
well, speaking of ticking clocks, we've got Mark Hoover on with us too.
There goes the neighborhood.
Well, it's going downhill fast.
Yeah,
He's in Florida today. Did you dodge a tornado?
We did. It was further
Yeah, I thought it was down not far from your area, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, but we heard much damage.
Right. No, I mean, I don't know how much damage it did. I just barely heard about it, but we didn't have any damage here at all.
Down around Fort Myers.
Right. Exactly. That's a lot further south.
Yeah, that cold front carried some weight down through Florida today.
Yes, it did.
It did. But I was calling in to just talk about how great the Florida hunts are. Well, this will be our fourth one. And
fourth one.
You know, we've just really absolutely enjoyed them. Of course, Florida Hunt 4 was in a different location, but our granddaughter was with us and she had a blast, and then she came back to Florida Hunt 6. So anyway, we had a great time and really looking forward to coming back again this year. And we've got some plans. Got a minute, I'd like to share a few things that we're going to do.
Of course. I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. So, you know, we're, this is part of Adventures in History. It's a group that I started 6 years ago.
5 years,
and,
a little over 5 years ago now.
Yeah. I was saying 6. It's really more like just a little over 5. But anyway, at our tent, we're going to do another raffle this year. And I know a lot of people came up to me and really wanted that limited edition dive watch that we were raffling off. We're raffling off another one this year.
Oh, and, nice.
Sweet. And we're going to do that. And
you always come up with such nice timepieces for those raffles.
Yes, he does.
This is going to be, we're working on some really nice stuff for the raffle. It's not, the limited edition watch is going to be the anchor, but I'm also working with some folks out west. We're working on some projects together, and they're going to be doing some sponsorships. So I'm working on trying to get some other stuff to go along with the watch. But in addition to that, I'm also working with Jim Tippett. If we can get it worked out, Jim Tippett is going to bring some of the Jimmy Crossbones treasure to let everybody see from the 1715 fleet what he recovered.
Nice.
And we're gonna set that up in the tent as well. That's our plan now, and trying to work out all the details for that. So Greg, we're gonna have some nice raffles. We're gonna have Jimmy Crossbones there. Also, we're bringing Brandon Sutton down from Treasure Fest 4 in Arkansas. And he's going to fly in the day before and going to stay with us, and then we're all going to go over and see Spanish Main Antiques in St. Augustine, and then we're going to come over and set up for the Florida Hunt 8. So it's going to be.
You said you're going to go over to St. Augustine the day before?
Yep.
On Friday or Thursday?
Well, we'll be there Friday morning, and then we're going to come over and set up Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless there's a problem, let me know. But we're planning.
No.
Just letting him see some of the sites here in Florida while he's here.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to do tonight, if Josh, if you want. I'd like to kick off Florida Hunt 8 by doing the first giveaway tonight.
We can do that.
So Gail and I went down to the Treasure Coast a couple of weeks ago and spent the day going to the McClarty Treasure Museum, and then we went to the Mel Fisher Museum, and then we spent the afternoon and evening with Terry Shannon. And for those on the call here who know Terry, he's just a legend on the Treasure Coast.
Great
and he
guy.
Literally just came in. Yeah, hasn't he been on your show?
A few times.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
So
we'll have to be having him back again here sometime in the very near future.
You will. He just released his third book.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up a copy or two of those, and he autographed them. So I'd like to actually give away one of his books tonight on your show. And
That's right.
The title of the book is called Treasure Coast: Metal Detecting Adventures Along Florida's Treasure Coast. This is the third book in the series that he's written. Great stories, a lot of fun to read.
A lot of good pictures, I'm sure.
Yep, absolutely. So anyway, it's signed, it's autographed by Terry, and we'll give it away tonight. What I was going to do, Josh, is I'll ask a trivia question, and then the first person who calls in with the answer wins
the correct
book.
answer.
All I got to do is with the correct answer, send you or me their address, and then I'll get it out tomorrow for them.
They're going to have to put their thinking caps on for this one.
It's not that hard, but
no,
it's a lot of fun. So we went to the coin show this past weekend. Lots and lots of coins, gold coins, silver coins, reals. And I even posted a coin. I posted a Pirate's Curse coin, which was kind of cool. But the other thing that we do, and everywhere we travel, my wife, first thing she always asks is, "Hey, do you guys have one of those penny machines that I can put a penny in and, get it stamped?" And most of the places we go to have them. And when we were at the coin show, I learned that there's actually a worldwide club for those in what we affectionately call smashed pennies. There's a club for that. But so the trivia question is, what is the official name for the collectors of those smashed pennies? There's actually a name for it. So the first person who can call in with the name of those collectors and what it's called will win the book. How's that?
Like I said, they're going to have to put their thinking caps on. Google can be your friend.
That y'all, Greg, I think you've got some of those smashed pennies, right?
Yeah, I had somebody from church give me he only bought this thing on eBay for one coin. He likes English, stuff from England. And he gave me, I have a bowl made out of coins, some weird stuff, but I had a book in there, and it had like 5 or 6 smashed pennies in it from somewhere. I'm not sure, but I told you I'd bring them for Gail at Florida Hunt 8. But yeah, and one of my daughters likes that everywhere she goes somewhere, she has to do one of them. Like when we went to Disney, she had to do them there.
Jill does the same thing, Mark. I swear, we were just down in Tombstone, Arizona, and Bisbee. I got a whole new book of them. She's got books of those from years and years of traveling. She's always gotten the smashed pennies. So I just look around. I'll say, "Oh, there you go. There's one of the machines," and she does every one of them on that machine, and then moves on to the next one.
We've got our first caller in, Mark.
All right.
Hi,
and it is Lauren.
Yeah. Lauren? Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi. I love smashed pennies. I call them pressed pennies, and people who collect them are called exonumists.
They're called what?
She says people that collect them are called exonumists, but that's not the correct answer because we're looking for the official name of the club.
Oh, the name of the club. Okay. I gotcha.
So.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Bye.
We did have someone else trying to call in, but I thought for sure Lauren had the answer, so they'll have to try and call back in if they're wanting to take a crack at it. Of course, then again, maybe they had the same answer as she did, and they're going, well, fudge, I'm not calling in now.
I think somebody actually put a hint on the chat.
Oh, I'm sure they probably did. There's a lot of sneaky people in the chat.
Yeah, they're trying to send you to the left when they're going right.
Well,
right.
Well, see, here's the thing. I didn't realize how many people. Well, first of all, I didn't even know it was a club. Second of all, I didn't know how many people actually did this. But everywhere we go, if you got 51 cents in your pocket, you probably will find one of those machines somewhere.
Yes, you will. And I
had
have
a
found
theme
them
park.
detected, Mark. I found them from World Fairs and back to the Columbian Exposition. I found that and posted it, and I had more people trying to buy that one. I've still got it because they come in the door, they're gone. The wife's already got them cleaned up and in a book.
There you go, Greg. I think you need to put a Florida hunt machine out there in the middle of the field so people can run their pennies up there and get them smashed.
Yeah, there we go. I wonder how hard it would be. I wonder how hard it is to get one of those machines.
And there really is a collector base
do they
for
rent
them.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you there'd probably be a line at it, Greg.
Yep.
They probably would. Hey, nobody else calling in?
No, not yet.
I'm surprised Barb hasn't called.
There was somebody that had tried to call in when Lauren did, and like I said, I thought for sure Lauren had the right answer, but apparently she did not.
I think Bill Marshall ought to call in.
He should. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what Mark wants to do about this. It's Lauren again.
Ooh, I don't know the answer. Jill would probably know, but she's not in here.
Well, Lauren's in again, so I'm going to have to see what Mark wants to do about that, if he wants to let her have a second shot or not.
Well, yeah, I think that it was a little bit confusing the way we asked the question. So, Lauren, if you want to go for it again, go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Is it called the elongated collectors?
That's what it's called. We have a winner. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay. Well, then Lauren gets it.
Way to go, Lauren.
Congratulations to you, Lauren.
And then I learned something new again tonight.
There you go.
See, it pays to listen to the show.
There you go.
Lauren, if you will private message me your address, I'll get the book out to you, and I'll even send you the form if you decide you want to sign up for the club. They send out a newsletter every 2 months, and with the newsletter you get a free elongated coin. It's a surprise, and so you get 6 a year just by joining the club.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Go ahead and send that.
Well, anyway, I'll send that form with you with the book. So, but you, if you don't know Terry or if you've never read one of his books, you'll really enjoy this.
I'm pretty sure she's got one of his books that she won off the show, actually. I think.
Yeah. Let me see which one I've got. And if it's the same, you can give it away to somebody else.
No, it's not the same.
What?
This is his new book.
Okay. All right.
I think you may have the Detecting the Otter Tail. Okay, the first one.
Yeah, I have Treasure Coast.
Yeah,
Nice.
so he has two on the Treasure Coast. And the first one is really designed to teach people how to read the
beach,
the shoreline,
the environment,
beach. Yeah, the whole environment. Whereas this third book is really more of his adventures of stories that he shares about metal detecting on the Treasure Coast. So it's really brand new. I don't know if anybody has the book. I actually picked it up from him while we were there. And so you'll really enjoy this book.
And it'll be a great companion to the one you've already got.
That's
there you go.
Right. It'll be very interesting to read. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And are you coming to Florida Hunt 8?
No, I won't be. I won't be able to make it. I wish I could get out of this Illinois weather, but
right.
Don't we love that, Lauren?
Yeah.
Well, either
I'm
way,
hoping you make it somewhere.
PM either Mark or myself your shipping information, and Mark will get that out in the mail to you.
Yeah, I think, Josh, you've already got mine, don't you?
Oh, I got a lot of messages to go through to try and find it. It's usually easier if you just send it again.
Lauren, I think you and I are friends. If you want to just message me your address, I'll send it out to you.
That would probably work better. My messenger looks like something that should probably be on Hoarders. It's a mess.
Hey, Mark, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Did you happen to reach out to Terry and see if he wanted to come do a book signing during that event, this Florida Hunt 8?
I haven't, but that's a great question.
I'm sure he would enjoy that.
I can too and say, why don't you come up? I'll put him in the booth, and he can sign books.
All right.
There you go.
I'll see if he wants. I'll see if he wants to do that.
That would be a fun thing too. I mean, we might as well add to it. I mean, he's a legend in Florida.
And you never know what stories you'll hear while he's there.
That's right.
We're going to have all kinds of legends.
Yeah, he's always got stories to share.
Yes, he does. Some good ones.
Yeah. So he'll be in your booth then if he comes up?
Yep. I'll put him in there. I'll try to have 2 tables set up and see if we get a few people in there and just have a rousing day of it.
Let me talk to Terry, see if we can get him up. That would be great. And then you'd have Gary Drayton from down there. You'd have Terry Shannon from down there. Yep. Terry can sign his books. That would be just fantastic. And I know Terry would love to do that.
Yes, he would.
If he's not able to come, I'll see if we can get some books up that he's already pre-signed.
I'll throw in for some books. We'll do something.
Okay.
And
yeah, that'd be great.
I'll talk tomorrow and we'll see what we can work out.
Very good.
I think that would be a great addition. And Gary's coming. I've been in contact with him. I tried to get him last year because my lab let it slip through the cracks. And that ruffled some feathers when I did that. Oh, well.
You'll have that from time to time. They'll get over it.
I've already told Gary, make sure he better have a van full of books or something, because everybody's been asking him about it.
Yep. So he'll be there. I've been talking with him. He's on his way to Vegas now. He's doing SHOT Show with my lab. And but we've been chatting quite a bit. And
I know Deb's got some. Yeah, Deb's got some cool stuff lined up. Hopefully, I've got to touch base with her and see if what she was going to do is what she's going to do. So then we can make some announcements. So
there you go.
Nice.
A little bit different than last year, and it's really cool. I'll just say if you ever watched Wheel of Fortune, you've ever watched. Just think of Wheel of Fortune. I'll give you one clue. That's it.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Well then, can I buy a vowel? Oh, well, what a way to kick off with that giveaway there, Mark. Very cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mark. Very cool. Very cool.
Very nice.
We're looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of stuff for Hunt 8. It's going to be a blast. And Greg, I compliment you on doing the seated hunt. I tell you, when we go to the Garrett hunt, it's both a seated and a natural hunt. And the seated hunt, some people don't like them, but they can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of tokens. A lot of the folks are, we've got tokens for stuff, and and then obviously, I mean, we put some money into it, but I mean, it's not like a super large seated hunt. But we're going to have tokens for all the silver and all the prizes. And then, you've got all the other coins that'll be out there as well. But nothing that's, we're not going to be dropping like just regular pennies or nothing. We're not going to be that cruel, but, you've got, there's going to be littered with Indian heads and buffaloes. And then you'll have all your tokens for all your silver and all the other stuff that some of the vendors are going to have tokens like Cannon Beach Treasures. we're going to probably put some tokens in the ground if they don't have their own, for some golden, possibly, silver and possibly some gold items as well. I got to get in touch with them soon. They're going to get back with me on exactly, the number of items. And then the Ben.
Are you going to have some spare tokens?
I'm just, I can't say what I'm going to use for tokens. We don't know. We can make some more if depending. I'm not sure exactly.
Put a couple
sure.
things in too.
Yeah. We're gonna let's see. I know my lab was possibly going to do something. Almost every vendor for the most part is going to have something to do with the seated event one way or another. So plus all the coins. So it's gonna. I see Shelly was talking. I know Shelly and we had a thing she was going to send me some kind of tokens thing. So, but I'm going to try to get those in the ground like a week before. So, but Shell, we'll talk on the phone a little later on, and we'll get for the season we'll get that squared away.
Okay.
Thank you. I see Lauren saying I'm a great guest. Thank you, Lauren. I hope you feel better. I know you talked about. I hope you said you weren't feeling that well, so hopefully you feel better soon.
Yeah, hopefully she does get to feeling better soon. I mean, this is a bad time of year to feel under the weather anyway.
Yeah.
I'm getting to be quite the expert at it myself, I think. But that's all right. But definitely very cool. Congratulations to Lauren on her win.
Yeah, congratulations.
And thanks to Mark for doing that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Let's see if we can beat the numbers between. See, like you and Chuck last year, and Ronnie all had these crazy amounts of. I'll tell you what, that was probably almost. Let's see, three. You guys probably had almost $10,000 in your raffles.
Yep.
Yeah,
between the three of you, those were the three.
Good.
Yep.
Both of us are doing gold. Something different. Something that you're going to walk out talking about.
Well, when the gang shows up, they show up in spades, right?
That's right. And I've got a real nice little nugget that if you got a token for it, we'll put a token out for another gold nugget.
Ooh.
Well, I can find I can get you a token.
Right. He's going, I can find a token, no problem.
I'll find you a token.
Got it covered.
Bam. Got it covered.
Bam. And we'll do that. And somebody can go away with a nice, it's about $1,000, but it's a nice long one. You could turn that into a small pendant.
Nice.
All of this has been found. All these nuggets have been found by me in different areas of the country and the world. So,
well, and I know Mark's looking forward to maybe finding some
Mark's
himself.
Hoping to go with me next year and find his own.
Right.
Yeah. I'm looking to find that 7-ouncer there, Chuck. I think you told me you were going to show me right where
I'll tell you what, that was a thrill of a lifetime just to see that big boy come out of the ground.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I scored a 2-ouncer later. My biggest is 3, but a 7-ouncer is as rare as it gets when you're going out detecting, let me tell you.
It's a sight to see, that's for sure.
Yep. So hopefully we have somebody score the same way this year in that size. That would be just phenomenal. So then I'd have to do a trip next year, too.
And the list would fill up even faster.
Well, that ought to be, I'll tell you what, the call in after we get back from there ought to be one hell of a show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was last year.
Yes, it was. So we'll have a good time and looking forward to that. But this Florida Hunt 8, we want to make it the best they've ever had, and we're working towards that. And Mark and I are going to reach out to Terry Shannon and add to the whole fun of it.
Nice. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. Everybody always says I put on a good event, but my events are only good or better. What makes my events are my guests, my vendors, and my friends, because everybody really, their first.
No, actually, it's you standing in the middle of the road in front of my tent like you're talking to yourself.
Hey, I was like 2 hours
He's
asleep.
talking to himself to the right and left. And I hollered at him. I said, "Hey, did you get any tickets?" "Oh, that's what I'm looking for." He took off. I didn't see him the rest of the day.
Ah!
Oh yeah, that was when you were. Yeah,
Remember
I think
that?
your wife. Yeah, I think your wife came over and got tickets, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh.
Yeah, I definitely am going to get more sleep this year.
One thing's for sure, it's going to be a blast.
So, well, anyway, I'll back out of here, let you guys wrap it up. Mark, have a great one. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
What time should I be on you?
Anytime, just call me, and then if I can't take the call right away, I'll call you right back.
Okay, bud.
All right.
Y'all have a great night. Be safe out there. Go find something good if you can do that. If you're in Illinois, just dig some more snow.
Don't send it my way.
Yeah, I'd like to send it all down to Mark for an afternoon.
I'll bring it back up to
it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, thanks for the call, Chuck.
Thank you.
And once again,
Greg, I was just going to say real quick, you do an awesome job of putting these on. It's been a real pleasure being a part of them. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is for a great cause. When you connected with Camp Freedom and the team there, it just made it even that much better. And I think everybody realizes that everything that we do, the raffles, the sponsorships, everything that we're doing, we're having a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie, getting to see people at the beginning of the year. People are getting out of the snow. But at the end of the day, we're helping a really good cause for the veterans of this country who have sacrificed so much. So I hope everybody just continues to remember why we're all doing this.
Thank you.
I couldn't have put it better myself. And very cool of you to donate the book for the giveaway tonight, Mark.
You're quite welcome, Josh. And, I won't say too much now, but you and I guess we can hint that we're working on some more stuff coming up in February, and looking forward to that. So just you guys make sure you're listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, and continue to do that. Continue to support the show. We're going to have some off-the-hook giveaways coming up in February, so I'll just leave it at that.
Well, they're just going to have to stay tuned. All right. Very cool. Well, thanks for the call, Mark.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Josh.
brother.
It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
brother.
Hey, good night, you guys. Good night, Greg. Good night, Josh.
Good night.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to mention before we get out of here, Greg?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I mean, until I get the, I will be putting up some stuff this week after talking to a few more of the vendors and the meet and greet location to confirm that. There'll be some posts up. Other than that, just make sure you guys stay tuned to the page. If you're not on the Florida Hunt 8 page and you want to, you're thinking of attending, get on the page. We don't have a cutoff, so it's not like, oh, you better get on now. And there's only 2 spots available. Now, our property gets bigger and bigger every year, so Now next year, if we end up doing one in South Carolina, North Carolina, it might be limited, at least in the beginning, depending on the size of the property. But nothing else that I can acquire other than, the one thing I will add is we will have some golf carts. Dan, we were talking yesterday about having the tractor doing some runs like once an hour out to that new area, because there's rows and rows and rows and rows of trees. And, not to mention now that we've talked about the possibility of wagon trails that ran through parts of the new area, as well as, part of the old parts of the field that people didn't know that it ran through, so they can pinpoint those areas.
Nice. And, even though there's no cutoff date necessarily, the days are winding down.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to pay ahead, I would recommend we're going to cut PayPal off like a week before so that she can get everything finalized and, we can get a check for Camp Freedom before the event.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I would like to thank you for what you're doing down there with Camp Freedom and everything. It's a great cause, and thanks for taking the time to be on the show with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. I was looking forward to it.
And I'm sure that, like you said, for any updates, I'm sure they can check out the page. I'm sure Frank and Steve and Ronnie will be mentioning it over on DA Live. Shelley and Dawn probably will. We'll try to make sure and mention whatever we can catch as well.
Yep.
So, plenty of avenues there, definitely, for sure.
For sure.
Well, hang in there. Not a problem. More than happy to. I mean, we're always happy to help support the cause, especially when it's a cause like that. I mean, huge supporters and much respect for the veterans. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, hang in there with me for a couple of minutes and we'll get out of here, Greg.
All right.
So for everyone else, obviously, that was Gregg Papallo talking Florida Hunt 8. Congrats to Lauren on her win, donated generously by Mark from Adventures in History. And you never know what's going to come. We're working on something. Stay tuned. Until the next one, we gotta roll. Have a wonderful evening, folks.